All right, good morning, all you Star Wars fanatics. It's a great day for a live stream. Well, every day is a great day for a live stream. I just don't have that kind of time to do it every day. So, before I get started, I want to begin with a slight disclaimer. I am in no way jumping on the Star Wars sequel trilogy hate bandwagon. I rate all Star Wars movies between good to amazing, with The Empire Strikes Back being the latter and The Phantom Menace being the previous. Everything else falls into the middle somewhere. If you want me to do a video on my ranking, I'll do that, but it's ever changing for different reasons. It all depends on my mood that day. But I do not hate any Star Wars movie. And I am not trying to change the sequel trilogy. These are just some ideas I had that may bring more fans on board with it and may make it a little more interesting. I feel that way about a lot of Star Wars movies. Every Star Wars movie could use some changes to fix things. So, it's just my thought. Hey, good morning, Don. Good morning, DR. Good morning, Knut D. Carre. I saw edits in here earlier. Boba Fett, the best bounty hunter. Sydney81. Good to see you all. I do have a little bit I want to get through before I get into the meat and potatoes. I can't remember if I said Knut, but welcome. Thank you for being able to join us. Yeah, I agree with that, Sydney81. But give me just a moment. It'll be a moment before I see you guys' comments because I do have some scripting I want to get through. So give me just a moment. Robin, good to see you, buddy. And Boba Fett. Hi, we have 2 Boba Fetts now. That's awesome. All right, if you're... give me just a second. I messed that all up. Yeah, I'm kind of goofy. So, with the introduction out of the way, here's another introduction. And I don't think that went as well as planned. So y'all can make fun of me now for that. It seems like that thing's glitchy on this program for some reason. Alright, so if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay up to date on all my Star Wars content and jump down and high-five the like button to show your love for what I do here. Now, let's get on with it. Like I said, I do have a little bit of scripting, so please just bear with me. As you see, I'm trying to structure my live streams a bit more. Not that I'm trying to get away from the good times we have here, just trying to see if the YouTube algorithm will pick up on these a little easier. Yes, I'm trying to boost my channel as well. Maybe if I had a different face, YouTube would promote my content a little more. Alright, I'm just kidding. But I do have a bit I want to get through before getting to your comments and letting the fun stuff begin. I'll probably make a separate video about this next part. A lot of people don't like sitting through an hour live stream, so I figured I'd put it in the beginning and then maybe do another video on it later, going more into detail. Anyways, let's jump in. I was sitting there thinking the other day about some comments I saw on other YouTube channels. Not so much bigger channels, but others about my size. There was hate going around about the sequels, The Phantom Menace, or sorry, not The Phantom Menace, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. And the question was whether we think the sequels will age well or not. Then I asked myself that, and I thought, yes. And DR, your comment just caught my eye, sorry. And Zen, I'm doing very well, thank you. So I thought, yes, I think the sequels will age pretty well. Absolutely. They're already starting to be seen in a more favorable light than they were. When The Force Awakens came out, it had mixed reviews by fans. At first, they were like, yeah, Star Wars, new stuff, all right. Then the newness wore off, and the trolls popped out from under their bridges and began their critiques from behind the safety of their screens. Perfectly acceptable, every bit of their right. Everyone has a right to their opinions, and this is just to illustrate the hate that the movie got. Then came The Last Jedi, and right away it was met with an angry crowd. YouTubers literally loved the movie, but when their viewers gave them hate for it, they changed their opinion to appease their audience. I bet they watched the movie in secret and cry every time Luke Skywalker fades away. I know I do, but it's not in secret. Then came the Rise of Skywalker. The criticism of this one gets me the most. When The Force Awakens came out, there were many Star Wars YouTubers theorizing that Rey was a Palpatine. There were also those who said she was a Kenobi. But the biggest theory was the Palpatine theory. I didn't have a YouTube channel then, but I thought Palpatine when I saw The Force Awakens on opening day. But then The Rise of Skywalker came out and Rey was actually a Palpatine by blood. The same people who theorized she was a Palpatine freaked out in anger. WTF. Yeah, I almost said the word. And those were the same ones who freaked out when Rey was a nobody in The Last Jedi and their speculations were subverted. Now they're screaming for her to be a nobody again. After they hated that idea. After they swore she was a Palpatine. Maybe it was because she called herself a Skywalker as well. Okay, valid point. But what would have happened if she and Ben both survived the battle on Exegol? What if they had gotten married? Do you think she would have held on to the Palpatine name or went with Solo? Well, people with no last name in our own world have a right to choose a name. I know a guy, and this is a real story, who changed his last name to Phoenix because he hated his parents so much. Is that stolen identity? No. Okay, back to my thought about the sequels aging well. Now that all three movies are at least 2 years old, The Force Awakens is now seen by many fans, not everyone, as the best of the trilogy. The hate for it, being a clone of A New Hope, has dissipated, and fans are regarding it a bit more highly than they had. Yay, it is a good movie. I'm not disputing that. Well, for me, it's my least favorite of the three, though. Not that I don't like it, I love it, but it's the least original of the three movies for me. But my point is, yes, the Star Wars sequels will age well, especially if we start getting more content leading up to them and telling stories of those characters' beginnings and what led them up to The Force Awakens. Much like the Clone Wars, help the prequels bring older fans on board. So what do I think would make the Star Wars sequels better? That is, to me, what this video is supposed to be about. Easy fixes, but it's hard to see these things as you're writing something. We call them missed opportunities as critics, but until you actually try to write something yourself, it's really hard to notice these things as you're making it. And later on you see it and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this? Or the fans are right, this could have been different. So the first thing I would change is Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron in The Force Awakens was hinted as this great pilot. Numerous people commented on what a great pilot he was. To me, that was teasing something. So for me, looking back on it, and I can't say J.J. Abrams should have done this, or whoever the other guy was, Chris Terrio, I think. I see how they could have missed throwing this in, or Rian Johnson could have missed throwing it in. But to me, Poe would have been related to Wedge Antilles. I think that would have been a good reason to explain why he was such a great pilot. Because his father would have been a great pilot, or his uncle, or whatever. The second one, Finn would not have been a janitor. He would have been a recent graduate into the Stormtrooper Corps. To me, making him a janitor kind of downplays his whole Stormtrooper persona that we were building up, and why he changed over and left. And, the Force sensitivity, that helps out too. And that would have been played out a little bit more in my theory too. Now, like I said, these are not criticisms. That we have the movies we have, and I'm glad for what we have. I'm glad that we have new Star Wars, and I'm not a fanboy just jumping on saying, yay, new Star Wars, let's go. I do have critiques of them, just like I have critiques of every Star Wars movie or every movie I've ever seen. But it's easy to be an armchair quarterback. Number 3, Luke, Leia, Han, Chewbacca, and the droids would have been reunited for at least one scene. One scene, that's all they should, that maybe not all they should have been given, but they should have been reunited. And maybe they meant to do that in the last chapter before Carrie Fisher unfortunately lost her life. That was a sad moment. I was really upset by that. Carrie Fisher was my first crush in life when I was 4 years old. Not like in a weird way or anything. I just thought, wow, she's beautiful and strong. Cool. Number 4, Leia would have hugged Chewbacca after Han was killed, not Rey. She had never met Rey. And I know that's a big criticism of The Force Awakens, and that's one that I have to agree with. And number 5, Ben would have survived long enough to kill Palpatine himself, finishing what his grandfather started. Then he would have died. But that's it. I don't care about Rey's name, so she felt a stronger connection to Luke and Leia than she did her own grandfather. Do you blame her? She was in love with a Skywalker and probably would have married him. Even though his name was Solo, he was just as much a Skywalker. The biggest thing I would change about Star Wars, though, is the fandom. Whoa. It's a space fantasy with whoomp whoomp and pew pew. Yes, we love it, but it isn't important enough for me to become this negative booty hole and start harassing actors and telling them to kill themselves or get out of acting. To me, that's just childish. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Robin, don't kill Snoke in episode 8. No need to bring back Palps. Yeah, see, bringing back Palpatine was in Legends as well. So that's why I kind of agree with bringing back Palpatine. He was the protagonist or antagonist of the first 6 movies. He was the big bad guy. Why not make him the big bad guy of the last 9 of the Skywalker saga, being that rival that the Skywalkers have? I never really liked Snoke, honestly, and it was a huge surprise that he was killed in The Last Jedi. We all expected him to die in the last movie, but much like episode 5, in the middle of that trilogy, gave us that big reveal of Darth Vader being Luke's father. Snoke being killed was a shocker. Nobody saw it coming, and I loved it. It could have been done different. Yeah, of course, everything could be done different. All right, let me go back to some more comments. Sorry, guys. I know that was long-winded and a big kind of a speech there. So I just wanted to get it out of the way because that is what the video is titled. It's all about the sequel trilogy. And for me, I just wanted to get away from Mandalorian stuff and Boba Fett stuff for just a moment. I felt like everybody was getting burnt out on it, and I didn't want to burn myself out on it before the Book of Boba Fett comes out in December, which I am so excited for. I don't know how I would ever get burnt out on Boba Fett, but it could happen. I just wanted to give a little bit of thought on how little changes in the sequel trilogy would have been a little bit better. I'm not saying rewrite the whole script. I'm not saying rewrite all the movies or anything. Another thing I probably would have done is, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, and I'm probably going to drop subscribers here in just a second. Let me pull up my subscriber count just to see how bad it goes after I say this. Ready? Okay. Yeah, incorporate Boba into the sequels, or at least some Mandalorians of some kind. So one thing I would have done, and I'm refreshing my subscriber count as we talk because I know I'm going to drop a few. I would have let Rian Johnson write all 3 movies. I think the continuity would have been a little bit better. I can't say I agree with everything Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi, but I think it would have made for a more consistent story. J.J. Abrams, he's a great director and a great writer and everything, but I don't think his heart was invested in it. I think it was more, let's give the fans some fan service. All right, so with that out of the way, let me refresh. Nope, haven't lost any subscribers yet. I guess you guys aren't quick enough on the trigger. Yeah, Robin, the thing I don't agree with the Snoke thing, the whole idea of Snoke and the changes that were made in it and all that stuff. In the Rise of Skywalker, J.J. Abrams took that over after he saw what the Last Jedi did, and instead of keeping Snoke originally what he said, because he said multiple times that Snoke was an ancient being, that he was from the unknown regions and all this stuff, and then in the Rise of Skywalker, he changed that to Snoke being a clone. He's the one who changed that. It wasn't Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson just killed the guy off. I mean, finally this ancient being's getting killed off, and he's no longer able to manipulate Ben Solo. Cool. Thank you, DR. I really appreciate that. And I'll give you a shout out as well. I mean, DR has been helping me so much with my channel. His shout outs have been boosting me more than me posting on any other social media. It's incredible. DR, I'm so proud that your channel is doing so great. And thank you, Sydney. And yes, Blaze Cap. I don't think JJ's a hack. I think he's just more of a corporate structure man. Where Rian Johnson was actually a Star Wars fan. He said it multiple times, and I mean, he studied the lore and all that stuff. He's not saying his movie was the best ever made, but it had more heart in it for me. For me, The Last Jedi had a lot of heart. It had emotion. It had flaws, character development. Luke, I know a lot of people don't agree with what happened to Luke. A lot of people don't agree that Luke was a recluse who just became a hermit and gave up on everything and all that because the Legends Luke wouldn't have done that. Well, this isn't Legends, this is canon. And in canon, Luke was a whiny little biatch. Sorry, but in the original trilogy, he was whiny. And if you read the new comics, he's whiny in that too, sticking with who his character is. He also had a touch of darkness in him. So, yeah, I think The Last Jedi was more along the lines of Luke that we saw in the original trilogy. Maybe he could have been a little bit more of a badass in The Last Jedi. When it was time to face Kylo, he could have been there personally. He could have taken off with Rey and been there personally. But we got what we got. DR, I like giving you shout outs, buddy. Even if it doesn't help you out, I like giving you shout outs because I appreciate what you do. All right, let's see how many subscribers I've lost. None. All right. Well, I guess everybody doesn't hate it as much. Wait until they watch the recap of the video. Do I think Boba will be Mandalore? Of course I think Boba will be Mandalore. DR, you know that. I've made a lot of videos on it. Yeah, same, Knut. I mean, I like The Force Awakens and I like The Rise of Skywalker, but The Last Jedi, the cinematography, the visuals, the character development, the story, the heart, everything, it's so much better to me. It's just, I could watch it over and over and catch something new each time. I mean, they could have left Rey as a nobody in The Force Awakens or in The Rise of Skywalker, and it would have made more sense why she called herself a Skywalker. But I even theorized in the beginning that she was a Palpatine. And I mean, her fighting style, her attitude, everything just screamed Palpatine to me. Yeah, Luke's father was whiny too, Sydney. He was, oh my gosh, it was hard to get through the prequels. And I'm going to tell you, of the trilogies, the prequels are probably my least favorite due to the dialogue and all the CGI. I know that's a cliche and everybody says that and everything, or used to. Now everybody loves the prequels and thinks they're the greatest thing ever created. But when you look at the trilogies individually, you look at the original trilogy and you see that everything was a surprise in that. Everything was new. You didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know if Vader was lying about being Luke's father. You didn't know that Vader was going to kill the Emperor himself. You didn't know these things. But when the original trilogy was written, you knew everything that was going to happen. Or not the original, the prequels. You knew everything was going to happen. You knew the Jedi were going to get wiped out. You knew Anakin was going to turn to the dark side. Even though at the end you're like, no, don't do it. You knew it was going to happen. It had to happen because we wouldn't have had Darth Vader if he didn't. We knew Obi-Wan would go into hiding and take Luke to Tatooine. We knew that. We knew that, I mean, Obi-Wan was going to skip off into Dagobah. So to me, the prequel trilogy didn't really have to be made. It was nice that they did make it, but it didn't have to be made. It didn't have to. I mean, even when Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980, I read because back then we bought magazines. Bought magazines to try to get up to date on all of our stuff because we didn't have internet. It was 1980. I mean, we barely had trailers and TV shows and stuff. But back then I read George Lucas's comments in an interview. I forget which magazine it was. It was probably something off the wall like Heavy Metal or Fangora or something. But he said Anakin and Obi-Wan got into a battle on a lava planet and Anakin was burned in lava. So I already knew that was going to happen. And a lot of us that grew up in that time knew that was going to happen if they had read that article. I'd have to look it up, see if it's still available anywhere, but I know it happened. I mean, I'm not some Mandela effect crony or anything. But I know that interview happened because when I went into the prequels, I said, okay, when are they going to get to the lava? All right, let's see comments. Fanatic, I got a meme idea. Boba Fett gets a spice dream, and it's him dancing with the Cantina band. Oh, you could even take it as far as he had a dream that his father was dancing with the Cantina band, and take that green screen of Jango Fett dancing with the umbrella and place it in with the Cantina band. Not telling you how to do your videos. Yeah, I'll watch it. Definitely watch it. Let me know when you got it. So, edits, are you still on here? If so, say something, please. If you guys remember the other day, oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to the trilogies. I'd start with the original trilogy, how it was a surprise, everything that happened. The prequel trilogy, how we knew everything was going to happen. Then we have the sequel trilogy, where we know nothing that is going to happen. We know certain characters are going to be in it, like Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, R2-D2, C-3PO, Stormtroopers, stuff like that. But we had no idea what capacity all of these were going to be in. We didn't know where their story was going to go and all that. So it was another surprise trilogy. Just stinks we had to wait a generation for it to come out. But, you know, whatever. George Lucas was not in any hurry to get Star Wars out. Yeah, DR. Exactly. All right, so Wednesday night, Edits and I believe it was Wednesday night, Edits and I did a live stream playing video games. Some of you were there. I know Knut was there. DR was there. It was a hilarious time. We played some Battlefront and Super Star Wars and just sat there goofing off playing these games. I'm not good at either of them, and it was kind of fun just being there playing and doing it. We did it on Twitch or no, I did live stream it to YouTube. I did not stream it to Twitch. But since then, Edits and I have been discussing something that we want to run by you guys. Edits, go ahead and give your news, and I will talk until you do that. Yeah, it was a fun stream, DR. I loved it. Clan Scarata, absolutely Dawn. And I'm still holding on to hope that the Bad Batch become that Clan Scarata. It would change the timeline a little bit as far as when they become Clan Scarata, unless Jango had already started it with the Nulls and the Alphas and all that. But I think it's going to happen, and I'm holding on to it. And if it doesn't, then I'm sure they'll be coming out with something equally as good. But this is a good opportunity to bring in Clan Scarata, and a lot of fans love that idea. Thanks, Knut. And I'm waiting for Edits to chime in and say what his news is. I'm waiting for that. Still waiting. Anyways, so yeah, I didn't want to make this whole thing about the sequel trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and the original trilogy and all that stuff. I just wanted to get that off my chest after reading those comments. I'll probably make another video just detailing stuff like that on the sequel trilogy, just to spice things up a little bit and get away from the Mandalorian stuff and the Book of Boba Fett, because it's going to be a while before those shows come out, and I really don't want to put too much content out there, even though when they come out, if somebody does anything, if anybody looks for anything on YouTube concerning Boba Fett or Mandalorians, I'm probably going to pop up, I'd say, because I've got like 100 videos on the whole thing. All right, so there's Edit's comment. Me and him, or he and I, proper grammar edits, are making a gaming channel and a Twitch, and we're going to be playing all types of games, not just Star Wars. Oh, you threw that in there. I'm telling you, Edits, I'm not going to buy NBA 2K22, not yet. But yeah, we went. Edits has already been creating the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. It's only going to be for us gaming and doing what we did Wednesday night. It's probably not going to be serious stuff. Even our NBA 2K20 character that we created is hilarious, and we might play a game using only that character, filling the whole teams. Yeah, I saw that news too, Robin. I'm all about it. I'm glad, because she needs that closure from Anakin she didn't get at the end of the Clone Wars Season 7. Yeah, you're right, DR. They will just find you. Yeah, so, Edits, do you have the name of those channels yet? And I'll be developing the logo and stuff, unless Bobby Mariani's on here and he wants to do that. I'd be more than happy to let him do the banner, the logos, and everything for the Twitch and the YouTube channel. But chances are we'll be live streaming on that channel once a week. I'm not sure which day of the week it'll be yet, because I'm trying to get this channel where I produce videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the live stream on Saturday. So that leaves us Tuesday and Thursday, really, to do it. Whew, man. Where's my coffee? Seriously? Did I not bring my coffee down here? Oh no. This is bad. This is bad, y'all. This is bad. Alright, so give me just a moment here. I do have a be right back screen. Y'all can keep chatting. It'll only take me a minute, and I will be right back. I promise. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that. I can't function without my coffee. I hate to put you guys on hold like that, but I can't function without the coffee. Oh, see, this is the first time I'm reading the gaming channel's names, too. What if Crosshair's a Mandalorian and is hiding from the Empire, so he becomes a Mandalorian? It's a theory. That's all I have to do. I like that theory. I mean, I think I did respond to one of your comments in one of the videos that I do think he would be a great Mandalorian, as I think all of Clone Force 99 would, and eventually they might come together or be warring factions in a Mandalorian society. I gave this theory a lot of thought, as you can tell. By them getting... Yeah, okay, Robin. Yeah, so he's got DNA of a Mandalorian, Jango Fett, who is now confirmed as a Mandalorian. He also has... he was around when Jango Fett was around, so it makes sense that Jango might have even trained him a little bit. He wants 10, 11, and 12. See, to me, it just makes no sense to have a 10, 11, and 12 because the Skywalker saga is over, from what they said. And that's what 1 through 9 are. They're a Skywalker saga. Sure, Rey took on the name of Skywalker and everything, but how many people are actually going to go want to see a movie or a trilogy of movies all about Rey? Sure, you could have Chewbacca in it. We have a younger actor now that can play him. C-3PO. Anthony Daniels is getting a little older. Yeah, so I just don't think it's wise to make it 10, 11, and 12 until a solid plan comes out. Maybe make some content, some cartoons or animated series or live action series in between the Rise of Skywalker and an episode 10 to build up to it, to maybe give it a tighter storyline or something like that. Then maybe a 10, 11, and 12 could work. But as you guys know, I've made no qualms with it lately, and I probably shouldn't even mention it. I shouldn't even say anything about it because it's not who I am, really, but not a big fan of Star Wars theory. The guy's bitter and angry that he didn't get what he wanted out of the sequels. So I think he's just wanting to change things to fit his own headcanon, which is fine. I get it. We all have our own headcanon. But when it comes to actual Star Wars lore, you can't put your headcanon out there as fact. You have to put it out there as your own thoughts on it. The new Boba comic. Are you talking about the War of the Bounty Hunters comics? Boba Fett, the Best Bounty Hunter. I believe that had already been done in Kylo Ren, the Rise of Kylo Ren comics. But yeah, I'd like to see it either live action or in an animated series or something like that. Preferably live action because I love Adam Driver. I think he did a hell of a job as Ben Solo and Kylo Ren. Say what you want about the sequels. Adam Driver gave it his all. He put everything into it. They said that he never broke character, even off screen, that he was so focused and so determined to make the best character he could. Resurrect Ben Solo. No. I mean, it made sense. And if you think about it, Darth Vader died in his redemption, not because it wound up killing him or anything like that. It did, but the reason he had to die from a writer's standpoint is because, yes, Luke Skywalker may have seen Anakin Skywalker as redeemed. He may have seen him as now becoming this father figure that he needed all along. But the rest of the galaxy is probably a little more hard-nosed. We wouldn't have got anything entertaining out of Anakin Skywalker living because he probably either would have went into exile or prison or got the death penalty. Depends on what the Star Wars galaxy feels on capital punishment. So the same idea with Ben Solo. He did kill a lot of innocent people. He did do a lot of atrocities, even though it wasn't per se him that killed the Jedi Temple off, Luke's Jedi Temple. But he did do other things. Look at the Mustafar battle where he was just slashing and slicing and hacking and cutting with the whoomp whoomp and the bzz, 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 and all that stuff. Yeah, so he had to die from a writer's standpoint because a sequel with Ben Solo would have just meant he was either in exile or prison or the death penalty, depending on how hard-nosed the rest of the galaxy was. So there's that. And I also want to say that I did get a lot of hate on my video about whether the Empire was good or bad. Trying to throw a case out there for the Empire being good, but that is not from a galaxy-wide view. That's not from a third-person omniscient point of view, which is what we're given by George Lucas. We're given a third-person omniscient. We see all the atrocities the Empire has done. We see everything that the Empire did to make the public hate them and make a rebellion start, which the rebellion started before the Empire even started any atrocities other than killing the Jedi. But actually, the rebellion started before that even happened. It wasn't even the end of the Clone Wars when the rebellion began. So, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh boy, I need more coffee. So anyways, I'm not trying to show the Empire is good from an all-seeing point of view. I'm trying to show it as good from maybe a citizen point of view. Maybe the citizens that did see the Empire was trying to bring peace and stability to their regions outside of the core worlds. Yes, it was bad they glassed Mandalore. It was bad they destroyed Alderaan. It was bad they destroyed Jeddah. And then later on, the Empire became the First Order, and Ilum wound up being destroyed. And that was a highly force-sensitive planet with kyber crystals galore. We all could have built lightsabers out of that place. Let's see. X-Wing or TIE Fighter? Boba Fett asks me. Let's see. Firepower, X-Wing. Coolness and just something that looks completely original and just has the sound that makes you fear it, almost like a Stuka bombing raid in World War II, would be the TIE Fighter. Robin, I hope I pronounced Stuka correctly. They were dive bombers in World War II, if you guys didn't know. I did study a lot about World War II, and I do understand the Empire was partly conceived of with the notion of Nazi Germany, or the Nazi Party, rather, as part of the basis for the Empire, as well as some samurai traditions and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly, DR. When the Empire was wiped out, a lot of stability was wiped out. I mean, yeah, there were still crime syndicates and everything, but they were kept monitored and I wouldn't say sanctioned so much as, okay, we let you guys exist, but keep your systems under control or we're going to jump in. Oh, is that our new YouTube channel edits? Yeah, Boba Fett, the best bounty hunter. That's another thing I'm looking at it from, is from the people that joined the Empire. They were volunteers. They weren't forced conscripts. They weren't clones. They weren't Jedi indoctrinated from birth. They were volunteers. They saw something in the Empire that could give them what they didn't have before. Made a Mandalorian starfighter. One of the Gauntlet fighters? I'd love to see that. The Empire was the best order. It had order, yeah, but it did have atrocities as well. I'm not saying they were good. I'm just saying that from a certain point of view, they could be seen as good. We all know they were bad. They were evil. The Empire was evil. They killed innocent people, enslaved Wookiees, enslaved Twi'leks, and the like, and Togrutas and all that stuff. And they allowed slavery to continue through other means like Zygerians and all that stuff. And they used slave labor to build the Death Star. So they weren't good. As far as the Rebel Alliance, I think the Rebel Alliance just went back to the way the Republic was ran, and it collapsed. The Republic collapsed because of how it was ran. It got arrogant and lost sight of what it's actually supposed to be. So, yeah, it's not the best. And guys, don't worry. I am going to be making more Arnold Schwarzenegger edits of Boba Fett. I don't think I'll continue with the cookie thing because I don't want that to get too played out. But I'll come up with new scenarios and stuff. Arnold Schwarzenegger will definitely be in some more of my videos. You will see him, and he will not have a tumor. I've had some other voices I've been working on as well, like Droopy Dog. Watching Clone Wars, despite the manipulation of Palpatine, the Republic was incredibly corrupt. Yes, absolutely. I mean, look at how they treated Ahsoka. I mean, the Jedi Order and the Republic just allowed Ahsoka to be thrown at trial like that. Sure, the evidence was overwhelming that Ahsoka had something to do with it, but at the same time, they should have known. They knew Ahsoka. They never... Who's the best Mandalorian? To you, it's Boba Fett. Yes. Once Boba Fett confirms he is a Mandalorian again, and that will be my answer. But for now, my favorite Mandalorian, who would it be? I like Finn Rao a lot. Pre-Vizsla, he was pretty cool. But that's a tough one. Jango Fett, he was pretty awesome, especially with the fan fictions I made. Do a Venom voice. I can't do a Venom voice. That was a little rough. I'd work on it, and maybe I could come up with something later. I used to be able to do a lot of voices. I can't remember who all they were now. Arnold Schwarzenegger's always been my favorite one, though, because the guy's hilarious. Yeah, Don, absolutely. Miggs Mayfeld, during that chapter of The Mandalorian, said it best. He said that to the civilian population, such as those on, I forget what planet it was, that they didn't care. It didn't matter, Empire or Republic. It didn't matter to them because they were just fighting for power. Buy my cookies. Oh, Donald Duck. See, I can't pronounce words very well with the Donald Duck voice. You guys probably didn't even understand what I was saying. I have an uncle who could do Cousin It from the Addams Family really well. He used to join in here once in a while, but I haven't seen him in quite a minute. Yeah, DR. So how you guys been? I know I've been spending a lot of time on content and everything, and that's usually not what I do in the live streams. Like I said, I was just trying to structure it a little more to see if YouTube would catch the algorithm of things I'm talking about for the live stream. That way we could get more people involved in it and get more good conversation going, more hilarity, as I like to say, or comedy. I love comedy. Comedy's like one of my favorite niches. If you guys watched our live stream with that, it's the other day, he's hilarious, and we just had fun going back and forth. I know I seemed like I was making fun of him a lot, but it's just our banter. That's how we do. Oh, the new Black Series Boba Fett. You mean the Cobb Vanth Boba Fett? I love it. DR, send me a link when you get it. Let's see. I think I would vote for some ancient Mando, Planet Morak. Morak, that's it, Don. Thank you. I always the planets in the Mandalorian tongue tie me sometimes. Like you got Typho, Morak, whatever the planet was that Ahsoka was on. Where I love that planet. Honestly, I wish they'd go back to it. Other than comedy, horror is probably one of my other favorites. Other than Star Wars, of course, Star Wars is top, but horror and comedy are my other favorites. And to me, that planet just screamed horror, and I loved it. Yoda voice. Oh, you cannot get your zip out. And there's another video idea I had that I'll be doing here soon is why Yoda didn't just kick Luke out of training and pick up Leia. I mean, look at the difference between the two. Luke was a farmer, had no experience in fighting or adventure or anything like that other than, needlessly killing small desert creatures like a psychopath. And he was whiny, and he often said he couldn't do it and all this stuff. But Leia had been on the front lines since she was a teenager, fighting, joining the rebellion, being a leader, and adding force sensitivity to that would have made her so much of a stronger Jedi than Luke was. Leia didn't seem to have much darkness in her either. So yeah, I think I want to make a video like that of what if Yoda had told Luke, you know what, forget about it, dude. You're too immature. I've had Padawans of 14 years old not act the way you are. I've had kids in the temple at 6 years old not be as whiny and immature as you are. Obi-Wan, go bring me Leia. Oh, Tatooine Boba. Oh, I did not see that Black Series figure. I'll have to check that out. But right now I'm trying to slow down on Black Series figures because I want to buy more Hot Toys figures, which is a conundrum because Hot Toys figures are upward of $300. And I really want that one on the throne. I really want the Boba on the throne. I want the 2-pack deluxe of the Boba without armor and Boba with the recently retrieved armor. But what do you guys think of that idea of Leia being this better Jedi than Luke was? I mean, she did best him in the Rise of Skywalker, and I can see that being possible. A lot of people thought that was stupid, that Leia, with all this little training, was able to beat Luke in a saber duel. That's in par with her character. She was a strong person. She was a strong leader. She was a strong fighter. She brought everything together in the rebellion, and she stayed positive the whole time. Hope, hope, hope. We have hope. We have hope. We have hope. Where Luke had no hope. He had none at all. I can't do this. I can't lift an X-Wing. I can't lift a rock. I can't lift R2-D2. I can't balance on my head and spin on my forehead. I can't do this. I can't fight Vader. I can't. Dude, come on. Leia would have been such a better Padawan to me. But what do you think? Robes and Gaffy Stick. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I have to look that up because it's been a while since they've released any good, really good Black Series figures. It's been a while since I've really bought any. I did finally find the Mandalorian Loyalist Black Series figure, which is just pretty much a repainted Jango Fett without the rangefinder. What if Padme was a Sith? Or what if Padme actually had an affair with Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah, Jacob, thank you for joining in. I agree with that too. She might have been a little more risky getting involved with because she was a high-profile person. But at the same time, Yoda was a high-profile Jedi, and he managed to disappear. So bringing her to Dagobah and having her disappear with him might have been a better option. He could have even raised her. I mean, give whiny-ass Luke to Bail Organa and let him raise him in the rebellion so he'd be a better leader, and leave Leia with Yoda to raise as a full-fledged Jedi. But that's just my thought on it. 4 new figures. I saw the Cobb Vanth figures. That's the only one I saw, Dawn. So I will definitely have to check into that. Oh, I haven't lost any subscribers yet for liking the sequels. Yeah, I'll have to check those out, definitely. Wow, this time has flown by on this live stream. I hate that because I like doing these live streams with you guys. It's just Saturday's my only day to get some house projects done that I need to get done. I babysit my grandson on Fridays. He's my little buddy. We go to the comic book store every Friday and I buy him toys. Then we come back and we watch Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I get What's This stuck in my head for 4 days. Like, I do change words of songs a lot. I'm kind of a song parody guy. I've always been that way since I was a kid. My dad did it. My sister does it. I do it. I don't know that any of my kids do it, except my oldest might do it. But instead of saying, what's this? What's this? There's white stuff everywhere. I say, what that one? What that one? There's white things everywhere. What that one? There's color in the air. What that one? What that one? You know, to me, it's just funnier. And if I was Danny Elfman, that's how I would have wrote it. Had Padme start the rebellion and Anakin kill her because of that. I wasn't a fan of the my heart is broken, so I'm going to die thing. Yeah, Sydney, at the same time, but what in my headcanon what works, and I don't know that this has ever been confirmed or anything, I think it has, that Palpatine actually killed Padme. That it wasn't her giving up, that he actually killed her to fuel Vader's rage a little bit more. I think they're starting the Black Series figures now at $24.99, but it isn't out yet. Here's a what if. What if Jango was adopted by Death Watch instead of the true Mandalorians, and Arla Fett gets adopted by the true Mandalorians? Ooh, that would be interesting, Knut. That'd be really interesting. And both of them actually be at odds with each other, rather than her having PTSD and Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, that would be cool. So the sequel trilogy should have made a reunion scene of Luke Law. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Jacob, if you want to go back and watch the beginning of the video, I did talk about that, of the things I would change in the sequel trilogy just to make it a little bit better. Not that I hate the sequel trilogy, I don't at all, but that was one of the things. I think Han, Luke, Leia, Chewie, and the droids all should have had a moment together. Just one scene, and that would have made everybody a little more on board with the sequels. Yeah, I do like that song, actually. My, this here Anakin guy. What is it? Maybe later he'll be Vader, but now he's a small fry or something like that. Yeah, I like that one. What if Jango Fett was never killed by Mace Windu? That would have been interesting. Then I think Boba Fett would have, nobody would have any qualms that Boba Fett is a true Mandalorian if Jango had been able to raise Boba Fett the entire time. Oh, DR, you got to post it, man. I'll be over at your channel as soon as we finish this, if you get it done by then. Yeah, I want to see it. I think that'd be really neat. Let's see. And I got this stuff going on at the top of my screen here. I know you can't see where my pointer is going and all that, but latest donation, recent subscriber count, train, latest follower. I don't know that that works. It seems odd to me. Let's see if I've lost any subscribers yet. Nope, none yet. Different. Yeah, this month hasn't been as good on my subscriber count and views as last month was. Last month I had a great month. And if Obi-Wan left the Jedi Order for Satine, I would have loved that, but it wouldn't have worked out for the original trilogy. The whole original trilogy would have changed a bit, where Yoda would have had to been watching over Luke. What if Dooku had told Anakin about Darth Sidious before Anakin killed him? Ooh, yeah, that's a good one, Jacob. That's a really good one. I think he probably should have, but knowing the rule of two, as Dooku would have been indoctrinated into, he would have known that his time was up. But he may have also thought that he would be the one to kill Palpatine and take on a new apprentice. So maybe, but at the same time, Dooku might have just been hesitant to do it because he did warn Obi-Wan Kenobi about it in Attack of the Clones. He warned Obi-Wan that a Sith was in control of the Senate, and Obi-Wan didn't believe him. Just let it go. I think so too, Blaze Cap. I do have a really good fan base here. I mean, everybody has their own opinions about different Star Wars projects, movies, series, comics, and all that stuff. Everybody feels differently about them than I do. Some feel the same, some feel differently. But we all know how to coexist with it, because I don't judge anybody for hating what I like, and I don't judge anybody for liking what I don't like, because everybody has a right to their opinion. To me, it's not about catering to those with negativity to get more views or get more money or anything like that. If I've said it from the beginning, if that's the case, if that's what I have to do to get more views and make money off YouTube and retire from my job and that stuff, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to compromise my principles and who I am to make money. I'm just not going to do it. Ooh, had Ahsoka listened to Maul, that would have been a good one, Sydney. Thank you for that. That would have been really good. And I was so hoping she would have listened to Maul, but she was too close to the project to understand that Maul was telling the truth. And if you look back through the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, and all that stuff, the original trilogy and the prequels, the Sith never lied to the Jedi. The Jedi did a lot of lying. I mean, Obi-Wan lied to Luke about his father. Yoda also went along with that lie. But the Sith never lied. Dooku told Obi-Wan Kenobi, this is what's happening in the Senate. Maul told Ahsoka, Anakin's going to become evil. Didn't listen. And all these things come to pass, and the Jedi are like, oh no, what happened? How did we not see this? Well, somebody warned you. You just didn't like that person, so you didn't believe him. Looking up YouTube video, what if the prequels were good? Belated media. I don't think the prequels were bad. I rate everything from good to amazing. The Phantom Menace being the only one I would call good. Attack of the Clones just slightly better than that. The Phantom Menace, because other than Duel of the Fates, which is an amazing scene, amazing battle, amazing choreography, I want to be able to whoop whoop just like they do. But I think that it could have been a little bit more. It was too shiny for me, and I'm not into shiny stuff. I'm into the gritty stuff. Like I said, the planet Ahsoka was on, I forget the name of the planet. It was more of a horror planet, and I loved it. The Last Jedi, gritty, very grainy, very dirty. I love it. The Rise of Skywalker, Exegol, same thing. I just felt when you walk onto Exegol, you're going to get dirty. Cool, you're not all shiny. Let's see, what if Luke joined Vader when he said, I am your father? Yeah, that would have been interesting. And it almost went that way. I mean, not saying George Lucas almost made it that way. He did almost make Luke put on the helmet after Vader died and say, now I am Darth Vader. But Luke was full of the dark side. He could have easily went over. Yeah, the prequels could have been better. All Star Wars movies could have been better, Jacob. I mean, the dialogue in the original trilogy was just maybe 2 steps above the prequels. The dialogue in the prequels is just ear-shattering. And I think We got Ewan McGregor, we got Liam Neeson, Samuel Jackson, Hayden Christensen, what's her name, played Padme, Natalie Portman. I think they're all amazing actors. If you've seen Hayden Christensen, not Christensen, Christensen, in other projects, you'd see he was actually a really good actor, and that movie made him stop acting. Now I'm glad they're bringing him back, and let's show the world what Hayden Christensen can actually do. All right, so it looks like I'm running over on my time now, guys. I'm sorry, I do have to cut it off. My father is coming over to visit, to pay Edits a visit, because tomorrow is Edits' birthday. Everybody, tell Edits happy birthday. We are going to work on getting that YouTube channel and the Twitch channel going so we can start streaming once a week on that. So jump over there, subscribe to it if you're into gaming and stuff like that. But if not, we're doing it for fun, and it's going to be awesome. Wednesday night we had a blast doing it. I don't want to do that too much on this channel, because this channel is more about my discussions and theories and all that stuff. And I'm proud of what I built here. That's why I haven't done too many of the meme videos with Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I don't want to be known for that. I want to be known for, how deep I analyze Star Wars, and how much I love Boba Fett. Is it true the original Star Wars, but had different writers and directors? Right, and one of those writers and directors, Jacob, was the direct protege of George Lucas, Dave Filoni. So anyways, I am going to jump off here, guys. If you're new here and you haven't done so yet, please go on and hit that subscribe channel, or subscribe button, and turn on the notifications. Stay up to date on all this. And join me every Saturday for these live streams at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I have a blast doing them. I look forward to them every week. It breaks my heart when I'm not able to do it, because I have so much fun with you guys. I love this interaction we have. I do have a theory video on that Boba Fett Best Bounty Hunter. Sorry, guys, I got sidetracked because that is an interesting comment. I did make a fan fiction about them interacting after or right before The Mandalorian or during The Mandalorian. So if you want to check that out, it's over in my fan fiction playlist. All right, so like I said, if you haven't done it yet, go on, hit the subscribe button, give the video a like. A simple click. If you don't like what I'm doing, then click the unlike button, the thumbs down. But hopefully you high five the crap out of it. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. And remember, this is the way, the only way.